How are we living, boys? Welcome to your 5 BRIAR tips that you need to climb rank. Let's get right into it. Tip number 1 is actually counting players. This is the most important thing a BRIAR can do. Because of the way that your W is going to interact, you need to be able to see the team fight before it happens. So right now, their top laner's dead. We know we have a 4v3. So we're going to try and facilitate this team fight. And we know to walk to this team fight because we've counted players. We know that we're in advantage here. And that's where a lot of BRIAR players get caught lacking, is that when the enemy team has another player up on you, you need to get out of that situation. Well, BRIAR makes that incredibly tough because you can't use spells to walk away. You have to go forward, so you must always be in a situation where going forward is good for you. The second biggest tip I can give you is the fact that BRIAR's E is one of her best spells. It has defensive and offensive usages, a huge stun and a ton of damage. So you're always trying to play the lottery in a way where you're trying to get the most out of it. So you're going to see, right? I'm blocking damage with mine, I'm putting him into the wall and knocking back an enemy from hurting my bars. These types of E's are hard to come by sometimes. If you didn't know, BRIAR actually has a second E, basically the tap E. Tap E is where you just click the button really quick when you're melee directly on top of someone, and it's an 80% slow per 0.5. Sometimes that's the difference between someone getting under turret and not. So you have to kind of ride the fine line that is, go for these max damage reduction into the wall E's, after you've used all the rest of your cooldowns to buy time, or you have tap E, which is an insane slow to help you get through some of these more weird situations. But just the fact that you know that tap E exists already changes a lot of your gameplay, because you can stop just doing the linear, oh I'm dead, let me use the E key. Now here's another good example of an E, because we covered the damage reduction, just use it E, we've also covered the tap E, and now you have the I caught you lacking E, where this person just shows, put him into the wall, and make sure to Q before that stun ends. And that's the biggest difference between a good and great BRIAR player, is the fact that, sure, your E is one spell, there's 3 main usages that you need to be getting out of it every time. Now the third biggest tip is the fact that when you hit ultimate, the rare time that you ever do, you need to decide what you're going to do as you're flying in or before it. So, for this context, we have a team fight right here, right? Enemy team is in way better position. My mid and top lane are trolling. They're on the other side of the fight. So, you have to be the game changer here, right? Because you're already in position. So, when I hit this ultimate, spoiler, I hit this ultimate, right? I'm going to shoot it. Whoever I hit, I have to decide now, okay, what am I going to do? So, what spells would you do in this situation? So, you're against Vayne, Hui, Pyke here. Now you see Pyke is already channeling Hook to get you off of Vayne, right? And you know that if you immediately Q Vayne, she can buff or condemn and get you off of her no matter what. That's 100% interaction. So you're going to have to know that right now you can Q, she'll condemn, you're in the wall. Now you have to try and kill her after that. You have W and Flash. So I immediately Q, get condemned. That all happens like regular. I flash for Titanic, and then I W forward, and then I try and W2 to bite, and then I position myself this way so that I can try and E them towards my team. And all of that happens in a split second, but the point of this is that every time that you hit ultimate, you have to decide how much you need to use. How much of your juice are you going to use? Are you going to land with ultimate, W, auto Q, Titanic W2? Do you have enough time for that? Are you just going to use Q and then try and E them into the wall to break the frenzy? Maybe you hit the wrong target. There's a ton of different circumstances that you can go through when you are trying to learn BRIAR, and especially learn how to play with BRIAR's ult a little better. Because it's just so insanely hard to know, you know, without thinking about all the different things that they have. So if you've watched any of my videos, you notice I hit tab a ton. Because every single item makes a difference in that calculation that I have to do in my head. Do the supports have a random item that'll break them out? Does, you know, someone have Knight's Vow and now I have to do more damage? Does someone have Randuin's? Now I'm going to run a little bit slower and all, like all of these things go through your head. And it is the most important thing that you actively try and decide how much juice you're going to use, and then adapt if you realize that maybe your initial preconceived notion of this team fight is wrong. Now this next tip is all about you understanding that BRIAR's Frenzy is not a limiter. You just need to use it to your advantage and you can get something good out of it. So as you can see, I hopped this wall. Right now I'm in enemy territory like it's nothing. Okay, that's cool. It's not just damage, right? It's for movement. You can get over walls, get into random places. That's good. Now you'll see it again. Frenzy is used to my advantage even when people don't even realize it. So right here, right, we're going to hop over the wall again, start a fight with it. Now it's gotten me into a random place on the map, started a good fight, and now we just have to bring it home with some regular mechanics. Now, as you can see, right, I just used my E and then W'd. Oh my god, I'm dead, right? Surely, enemy team that is pulling up right here knows that I'm dead. Well, you know, it's over for me. No, not even close. Right here, they push forward so that they can try and punish me. Well, unfortunately for them, we just baited them to be closer to one another. Boom, 3-man R. And it's quantifiable in a way when you talk to these players, but the point is that you can be using BRIAR's W as way more than just a, oop, I started the fight, now I get to do damage. Use it to be in random spots on the map. Use it to bait people. Oh, they saw BRIAR doesn't have E and she W'd. Oh my god, I can punish her. Bam, R flash, something like that. Use every bit of this spell that you can because there's so much to it. It's not just damage and stats. You need to be locking in as much as you can about what you know about BRIAR that they don't. And lastly, for tip number 5, I think the most important thing that you can do is understand that bruisers like BRIAR can play teamfights so different. You can be a disruptor, you can be peel, you can be engage, you can be, you know, an assassin. You know, you can try and hit a flank R, you can try and just peel enemy team by QEing whoever's trying to punish or carry. Or you can just be like this, where you just start causing havoc and being a disruptor, right? And these are some of the things that make BRIAR so good, is that she, unlike some other champions, is able to play that kind of style where she gets to do all 3 jobs. So you need to be actively deciding what your job is every once in a while in a game. You have to, you know, look at your win cons, look at who's fed, think about the champions. Do you have a certain champion that 1v9s their team? That is something, it becomes increasingly tough to like truly understand what your job is without just playing the game and thinking about it, but I felt the need to say it as the last tip because a lot of you aren't thinking enough about your win conditions, right? If you have a fed Ashe against a team that doesn't have a lot of dashes and movement abilities, then that would be an easy free win, get her fed. And this type of understanding helps you so much with the game, because sometimes you are carryable while still being the one carrying, right? You're able to carry by letting your Ashe carry, and that means you carry. So there's so much to it. So hopefully these 5 tips helped you out a ton. Again, it is so tough to choose what is specific without having like everyone's input. I can't watch you guys all the time. But I'm so happy to try and make quick little videos like this. So let me know what you think about it. Because again, if you don't know me, first of all, nice to meet you. Second of all, I make full game YouTube videos. So sometimes short guides are kind of tough for me, where, you know, it's tough to be directed in what you're trying to say. I like the free-flowing ones, but overall, I did enjoy making this, and I hope that these can help you. Let me know what you think about the video. You guys have going. Thank you so much. Enjoy playing BRIAR. See you next time.